broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, good morning. This is Marcus over at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. I do have Brooke Thomas and Steve Goldstein with us on this morning. We're going to be covering the Retirement Analyzer software package. I want to thank you all for joining. This webinar will be long. We're going to be covering a lot of information this morning. Insurance Agency Marketing is an independent marketing organization that has been around for 30 plus years. We do help independent advisors like yourself with resources and processes and products to help grow your agency from the ground up. So we do appreciate you taking time out to spend with us this morning. We are going to, like I said, be covering a lot of information. So if you do have a client or a phone call that interrupts the webinar this morning, this is going to be a recorded webinar. So after the event, if you do get pulled away, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to get you out a copy of the webinar this morning. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into things this morning. At the end of the webinar, I will be covering how you can get access to this software. Also, I'm going to be covering some of the benefits and features of insurance agency marketing and how we can help you and your agency grow. But we do have the privilege this morning of having Brooke and Steve on. They have been independent advisors like yourself. So they do come with knowledge and background of how to help clients achieve their financial future in helping create this software package, helping their clients achieve their goals and ever-changing lives and environment. So at this point in time, I'm going to open it up to them and switch the webinar over to them. One point that I'd like to touch on is there's going to be many different questions that do come up during the webinar this morning. So if you do have a question, please feel free to drop that in the question box. We'll try to answer any questions as we do move forward. Again, my name is Marcus, and please let us know if you have any questions as we move forward. But at this point, Steve and Brooke, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you this morning right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Marcus. I just have to, let me see. Just have to be able to show my screen. I think you have to give me the ability to do that if you could. Okay. All right, Marcus, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey guys, thanks for being here today. Yes, my name is Steve Goldstein. I'm here with my partner Brooke Thomas, and what we're going to talk about a little bit today is a system called the Retirement Analyzer. If you're new to it, okay, and if I could just give you a couple of quick lines on what it is, it's really a finishing tool. Okay, it's going to help you explain financial concepts to clients, show them recommendations, projections, help them build their plan using all kinds of different strategies. And I think the one thing you'll find here, okay, is we really take simplicity to the next level. We really do. Okay, so you're going to have a software program that's going to, in logical fashion, which you'll see here, we'll show you in a little while here, step by step, how to enter the data, which doesn't take more than 20 minutes when you get going with it. All right, popping into a program, a software program where the output is understandable, okay, and I'm going to give you the whole range here, right? College students, okay, we teach this software to college students, and they're able to actually take a case study out of our software and present to their professor for grading. It's understandable, obviously, by the advisor and agent community across the country. We have 3,000 users. It's also it's simple enough to be understood by a 70-year-old client who actually downloaded our software, watched the training clips, and put together, this is a client now, put together her own analysis and called in because she had some questions on taxation. This is not an advisor, right? This is a woman that spent the time to learn the software by looking, watching some of the training clips, and all of her data entry was perfect. And she just wanted to know back in late 2017 if she could somehow prevent her and her husband from being in the 25% tax bracket for the rest of their lives. And this is the question we got on one of our support line calls. So the point I'm trying to make is this, right? You got this software program, right? You input the numbers. We have a very, very efficient input process, and you have the financial analysis in the palm of your hands right in front of the client to answer any possible what-if question they could have. Isn't that what an advisor is supposed to do? Well, that's what we give you here with Retirement Analyzer. Brooke?
All right, welcome everyone. Just a few things to add to what Steve said. We do have a power line. In fact, we have all sorts of training platforms. We understand that adopting and really implementing a new software system into what you're doing, that's challenging. Okay, we're asking you to change what you've been doing. So we're here to hold your hand. We're here to help you get acclimated. Probably the best thing to do would be to download the trial. After this webinar, Marcus can tell you all about how to get that, and then start plugging your own numbers into the software. I tell you what, when it's your own plan, you notice things a lot more quickly. For example, if you have a wrong data entry number or something like that. From there, again, all sorts of training opportunities. So every single day here at Thomas Gold, we have a live training. Monday through Thursday, we call it our Power Hour. All of the trainings are at 10 a.m. Central. Now, Fridays, we call it Success in 60, and that class tends to be a little bit more in-depth. We'll cover advanced RMD strategies or long-term capital gains, just all sorts of really cool stuff like that. Great conversation on those Friday classes. Now, we have live boot camps as well. So if you're the type of person that you want to go to a day-and-a-half live training, you bring your laptop, you roll your sleeves up and get in there. We have 3 events left for the remainder of 2018. We've got Pittsburgh actually next week. We have Dallas coming November 15th and 16th, and then Atlanta December 6th and 7th. There is a charge of $299 to get into that class, but again, that gets you the day-and-a-half boot camp plus breakfast and lunch both days. Now, every single month, we also do what we call a sector session, and the topics can range. Last month, we did RMDs. I think the next one we're going to be doing life insurance or something like that. So we'll just take a topic and really break it down, show you how to use that within the software, how to build in sales strategies and things of that nature as well. So that's some of our upcoming events. Steve, anything to add there?
Yeah, basically, Brooke, I don't know if you talked about it or not, but I mean, how long does it really take to get acclimated to the software? Let's talk about that a little bit for people that might be new, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is we have a lot of people that are brand new to the industry that start using the software. They're really just trying to get a process. We also have a lot of advisors that are already really well established that are looking, maybe you've been focusing your business primarily on annuities and you've not really talked to your clients about life insurance or long-term care. Our software, when you plug in the data, guys, it's going to let you look at managed money, annuities, life insurance, long-term care, all of it. So you can go and really go back to your client base and look at potential cross-selling opportunities. So it's a great fit for every level of advisor. Now, when you're talking about getting acclimated, like I said, run the program on yourself. From there, I would pick 2 or 3 clients that you've already got the bulk of information on and plug them into the program. I tell you what, our software is simple. It's simple yet super comprehensive. So you can keep it as basic as you want, or if you're a registered rep and trying to do something more advanced, you can make it work in the program too. That's the really nice thing about it. Probably, like I said, 2 to 3 files. Like Steve said, once you're really used to the data entry process, we're talking 20, 30 minutes to build a case.
So you basically have a software program that you can get acclimated to quickly. You have IMS there for product. And basically what we can do, right, we handle, and Brooke just mentioned this, I don't think she did, but taxation and RMDs and provisional income and any kind of movement, Roth conversions. We can do anything here. Okay, trust income coming in. Okay, real estate inside of an IRA and the taxation on that and stuff like that. So what we do is, and Brooke and I spend a lot of time on tax. Obviously, we had the new Trump taxes this year, all built into the program January 2nd. They were there. Okay, so we can show you. Again, I just want to echo this one thing, and I think Brooke did say it. You can be as simple as you want and just show a basic analysis, or if you want to go under the hood, there's buttons throughout the software there where you can go under the hood and you can see where we come up with our numbers from. Okay, but as you see, now you'll see it here, the software is made, or created to have a simple look and feel about it, okay? Because if not, nobody would use it these days, right? Everybody has a short attention span. So you can see we have news stories coming across the top. We have the markets over here, we have this thing called Thomas Gold Talk, and Brooke might have mentioned this, okay? Thomas Gold Talk. You can see that 24 hours a day, we know you have questions. So post the questions. We do our best to watch it after hours, weekends. You'll get answers, okay? And if I scroll down here, you can see every user that signs up has an account. And we go back and forth sometimes over the weekend. It's like I said, people are posting. Okay, that's Thomas Gold Talk. All right. We also have our locker. Brooke, you want to just touch on that really quick and then we'll jump in?
Yeah, let's take a look at the locker. So as I said, we realize we're asking you to do something new. We don't want you to have to reinvent the wheel. So this locker houses a ton of surrounding material. Under the training door, there's an entire self-study course if you want to take that. There's training clips. Those are little videos that break down every tab in the software. Case studies, this one in particular is probably one of my favorites. When we click on it, you can see these are all different topics that Steve and I have faced a ton with our own clients. So every client, for the most part, wants to know, when do I draw Social Security? So you can watch a video on how to set that up. We walk you through the keystrokes in the software. We walk you through what to print out, how to set up the sale. And you can see, again, 20 different topics there, all relevant things. Go ahead and close out of that. We do have a virtual training we do once a quarter. That's basically very similar to the boot camp trainings, but it's all virtual. So if you want to sit in your office and do a deep dive into RA, attend that virtual track class. Now, our middle door, this is where you're going to find appointment forms. So we've had a lot of luck with sending out clients what we call a client starter pack. We do that typically 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So when these clients show up to our meeting, we want them prepared and have the documentation in hand that we need. We've got all sorts of worksheets here if you're not comfortable yet with the program. We've got paper fact finders if you want to, write in the information, that sort of thing. It's all right here. Okay, let's go ahead and close out of that. We also have fact packs. These are, again, another one of my favorites. They're just one-page informational pieces. They're totally neutral. So we leave them just generic fact pack. So you guys can print these out. I actually laminate them. I have them in my briefcase so that I have all of these helpful stats right on hand. And I keep a dry erase marker in my briefcase as well, so I can circle certain things or whatever the client needs to focus on, and then you can just wipe it off and reuse it. Very, very helpful. There's ones on contribution limits, all sorts of stuff. Check that out. Okay. We have a seminar system that's primarily, though, the 2 key ones in the materials section. And then we already talked about training. So just don't forget, every day from 10 to 11. In fact, Steve, if you scroll up to the top for me.
Okay.
What you guys will see when you log into your software every day at 10 a.m. Central, this light bulb is going to appear. And when you click on the light bulb, we actually have Power Hour going on right now. When you click on that light bulb, it'll take you into the training for that day. Okay, so anytime you see it, go ahead and click and join. And that, I will say too, those trainings every day are not canned presentations. You guys can bring a file, you bring your questions. We get through as many questions as we can in the hour block of time. All right, let's head into a sample file. We've got a lot to cover today. We'll do that by clicking on our clients list. We're going to just use a vanilla type of file. What I want you to get a feel for is just some of the things that RA has to offer. And let's jump in. The first thing you'll notice is we have what we call a 3-3-3. We have 3 input tabs, we have 3 output tabs, and then 3 solutions tabs. So I'm going to really quickly walk you through the data input tabs so you can get a feel again for the type of information we're looking for. Tab 1, we want to know about their income. So are they working? If they are, we want to know how much are they making? Are they getting any increases? And when would they like to retire? Basic stuff. We've got a Social Security section. Again, like I said earlier, every client wants to know when they should draw Social Security. That is something you can pinpoint so easily using our software. Now, you can build in a primary benefit like what they're showing in this example, or if they were fortunate enough to have a file and suspend or something like that, you can build in those advanced strategies as well. Very basic to do. Now, the pension benefits section, this is where, again, you can show benefits. You can show if there's a COLA attached to them, if they have survivor options, it's all here. Now, this is what we call the quick add, and it's the basics that we have to have in order to run the software. But I want you guys to know, if you're a more advanced planner, check this out. If we click on this little plus info next to the pension benefits, and you'll see these little plus infos for Social Security, you'll see them actually sprinkled all throughout the software. So in this pension one, for example, you can control taxation. Is this pension taxed at the federal level, the state level, maybe neither, maybe one? All you got to do is check the boxes here to control that. Maybe the interest on the COLA is compounding. Maybe it's simple. You just set the toggle. So it's very easy to go in and tell the software specifically what you want it to do using these plus infos. Okay, let's go ahead and close out of there and jump to tab 2. Now, tab 2 is where we start to tackle assets. Okay, we want to know about everything. We want to know about their emergency funds. We want to know about their 401ks. You can see it all right here. Now, on our tax classification drop down, you'll notice we handle really every type of taxation. Same thing with investment vehicle. You can see just a ton of things in the investment vehicle category. Now, allocation, our software, we keep it pretty simple. It's either low risk or at risk money. We do have an integration with Riskalyze. If you guys are using that program, let us know. We turn that on and you'll have a whole Riskalyze feature show up right here as well. You can build in values and monthly contributions. Again, lots of information housed behind our plus info in this section. So let's click on the 401k, take a quick peek here. So with 401ks, we obviously have possible employer matches. You can see a field right there. You also, if the client's still working, can delay an RMD on a 401k. You can do all that sort of stuff in the software as well. Okay, let's go ahead and close out of here.
Real quick, Brooke, somebody has a question. If they have seen this or use this program in another organization, can they transfer their clients over to our software?
Yes, that's the good news, is you will not lose your files. What we can do is just transfer your subscription to IAMS, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, we have additional assets here. These are really used for our net worth calculation. We want to know about their family home. We want to know, do they have big artwork or gold and silver, things of that nature that affect their net worth. You can pop it in right here. We do have a SPIA and an income benefit annuities section. We'll cover those here in just a moment. But I want to focus on these pie charts and what these pie charts are looking at. The left-hand one is looking at their current allocation. So this is dialed in based on what we entered in the top section. You can see they've got a lot of money at risk, basically. And often people have more money at risk than they realize. It's very, very common. Now, our right-hand side pie chart is looking at their desired allocation. Now, they may know the percentages, but 9 times out of 10, they are not going to. So Steve and I made this risk assessment questionnaire. And they're basic questions. You walk the client through them based on how they answer them. It's going to dial in the percentages for you. Now, your job becomes to obviously make these two pie charts match. So we've got a lot of money at risk on the left-hand side. We only want 45% at risk on the right-hand side. Just one quick sales opportunity. You could pop back up to the top section. And let's take these Gabelli funds. 200 grand, you call IAMS, they help you with the product. Our software is product neutral. We're only going to move it from at risk to low risk. Again, something with guaranteed principal feature. We scroll back down. Our percentages, are they perfect? No, they're not absolutely 45% on both sides, but we're a heck of a lot closer to the overall goal. Okay, let's go ahead and set it back to our original. Now, when it comes to rates of return in our software, you can build in rates of return specific to each account. If you want to run an average rate of return, you can do that, no problem. Lots of rate of return features here. If we close out of that, one other thing I want to point out is we always have this conversation with clients. What is their minimum retirement fund? $50,000 in this example. And you can learn a lot from asking this question. Some people say, you know what? I started with nothing. I want to end with nothing. They do not care about leaving a dime to their kids. You've got other people that would starve before they touch their kids' inheritance. So it really just depends. Again, you can learn a lot from that. That is going to create the yellow line on tab 6. I'll show you here in just a moment. Let's jump now, though, to tab 3 and look at some of our expense features. Now, like with everything else, with expenses, you can be basic and you can use a clumped number. Okay, if the client says, you know what, I want to spend $8,000 a month, perfect. You can run it that way. Steve and I strongly encourage you, and you'll find this if you attend our training, do the budget. Break down the budget numbers. Because I tell you what, a mortgage, let's just look at the mortgage alone. The mortgage typically tends to be the biggest chunk of somebody's budget every single month. And tell me, 9 times out of 10 is a mortgage affected by inflation? No, the principal and interest have no inflation attached to it. So if you're clumping and you're not separating out the mortgage and showing that 0% inflation and showing the end date on the mortgage, trust me when I say the client will run out of money much more quickly than they will if you separate out the mortgage. So the details, it's what makes a huge difference in these analysis. So you can see here, this mortgage, and this budget worksheet, I should say, is dynamite. It's totally customizable. You guys can build templates, and the software will open up every single time to the template, the exact way that you want it to be. You can build in inflation rates per item. You can show start and end dates. You can drag and drop, move them around, organize them how you want. Very, very flexible budget worksheets. Go ahead and close this up. We also have a section here for liabilities. Feel free to use that. And then down below, we have a future cash flow section where you can do college planning. Maybe they have rental properties. Maybe they have dream vacations. Any and everything else can go right here in the cash flow section. Okay. At this point, we're done with data entry. Let's jump to tab 6. This is where the rubber meets the road. So we have a yellow line appearing in 44. That's where they drop below the 50,000 we wanted on reserve. It's our caution light. Now the red line is where their retirement funds are exhausted. 84. They made it to age 84 and they're out of money. Now, some people say, you know what? Great. I hope I make it to 84. But I tell you what, people are living longer than ever before. And Steve and I always point out, if you make it to 84 and your retirement funds are wiped out, what options do you have at that time? I mean, is it really feasible to go back to work? Probably not. Do you want to move in with your kids? Most people don't. So we're going to show them how to create what we call balance in step 2, and Steve will walk you through that.
Okay, now Brooke just gave you a lot, guys. Okay, I hope everybody's feeling okay. It's, you know, we went through a lot. If you're new to the program, you're going to be doing the same things over and over and over again. Okay, but it's only on these first 3 tabs. So again, I said it in the beginning, once you get going with this, 20 minutes, you know what to gather, you know where to put everything. And even before, as you're inputting information, or your admin person is inputting information, you'll start to know before you even get to tab 6 if they have a red line or not, if you do enough of these. Okay, so our goal here is to do this, right? What we want to do is we want to take the situation and make it look better for the client. So watch, we'll go to our reports and print page, and I have a couple of scenarios made up already. Okay, so here's the reports and print page. All right, basically, I made a copy. Now on your data input, when you put everything in the first time, that's the only time you do it. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're just going to copy what we did and then make changes and look at the difference. I hope that makes sense. So what I did was I actually took a copy of the current scenario, and I'm going to show you the keystrokes on how to get from here to here. These are the 3 things we did, but I'll show you in the software how to do it. Okay, so let's go into the example file that we have, the IMS webinar file, and here's what we're going to do. Okay, so they have a red line. They're running out of money at 84, not a real good situation. What you want to do is we'll come back to the income tab right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually push their retirement date out 3 years. So they were retiring a little bit early. Now it's 65 and 64 in 9 months. I don't think it's earth-shattering right there. That's reasonable. Let's also go to the Social Security calculator. And what we have, basically, if you put one benefit in, it actually gives you benefits, projected benefits at all ages. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 65-year-old benefit and we're going to push it out to 70 here. And we're just trying things. We're going to do the same for Gary and Jenna. Okay, so we're pushing them both out to age 70. If we click save, now the 70-year-old benefits will be copied to the Social Security section. Okay, and because we did such a good job in the budget, what we're going to do in the assets tab is we're going to actually have them start contributing money, the maximum contribution to their Roths, okay, their Roth accounts. So 541 times 12, right, is 6,500, right, basically, a little rounding there, and that's the catch-up contribution because they're over the age of 50. Okay, so we did 3 things. Now, if we go back to tab number 6, right, we're looking for a better outcome. And you can see that we alleviated the red line and we actually have money left. Okay, now you can see the Social Security, like we said, right, doesn't start here. It actually starts here. Okay, you can see everything here, right? You put your mouse, we have these things called mouse overs. You want to know what that $30,000 is? That's a college funding outflow right there. Okay, you want to know what makes up the 1.3 million? You put your mouse over it. You can see what the accounts that make up the 1.3 million. Now watch as I drop my mouse. You can see this is how easy the software is to use. Watch the Citibank account disappear and the American funds start to be taken from. See, the Citibank leaves and the 145 drops to 82. Okay, and all you got to do is just go down here to watch your funds deplete. Now you're in charge of setting up the order for depletion or drawdown. You could do that also. But you can see how the software is really easy to see and understand. Okay, the red line depicting, or we show running out of money, it's depicted by a red line. That's what it is. Okay, that's enough to get people nervous, right? I don't want a red line. Red's the color, it scares people. And in a good way in this case, all right? I'm not saying to scare the heck out of them, but just show them, hey, look, if we go to red, we have a problem. All right, so now we've alleviated the red. All right, now if I go to the reports and print page, right, watch what happens here now. These are just the scenarios and we're working down through it. This one matches this one, you see? Now what did I do, right, to get there, right? This is going to have to take a little time and write the notes in simple fashion. But basically what I did, right, is I moved. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, hold on one second. Wait. Here we go, like this. Okay, what we did, right, is we retired them 3 years later. We started Social Security at 70 instead of 65, and we contributed $6,500 to Roth IRAs while they were working. And you can see now a very, very ultra simple view. This is what they look like, right? The red line was at 2,045. We've pushed it out 16 years, and they actually have 160,000 left. And it's real simple. It's just these 3 things. Now, if they can't do these 3 things, maybe there's 2 things or 1 thing or 5 things or whatever. You have to build this around what they can do in their specific situation. And that creates conversation. And you have to start asking questions so you can find out. This software can be used quickly, but we do the best we can. Brooke and I do the best we can to help guide you through the financial planning process to keep you safe. There are still people that like to cut corners and just put in a couple bits of information and hope the software works for them. And I got to tell you, it's probably not going to work for you if you do that. Okay? But if you do it this way and you look at a red line situation and you make some suggestions and they pay you for your advice here, no product yet, the situation's better. Now let's go to the last one. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the last one. We're going to add a product now to try to enhance. Now we use products to enhance. Okay, so let me go into the scenario. And remember, Brooke talked about moving that $200,000 Gabelli fund. We're actually going to do it here. Okay, so we're going to go to tab number 2. And let's check out the Gabelli funds right here. These are them right here. They're at risk, 200,000. So watch how I would do this now. Okay, I would click the plus information when I'm moving something down to the income benefits section. And I'm not saying that you have to move all your assets to income benefits. You can move money into managed money if you want. You can do whatever you want, but you're going to show the difference, you know, in retirement fund values after the change. That's how you do it. Okay, so we'll watch this one now. I'm going to transfer to an income benefit annuity. Okay, in this case, it happens to be Lincoln. We are insurance company neutral. IMS has their products, right? They're going to give you great product recommendations. Okay, we're moving it down, right? This was a non-qualified fund with $200,000 in basis, so we have $200,000 in basis. All right, we're going to go with a single payout, and we're going to actually go monthly. Okay, so let me bring in an illustration over here that we can look at. All right, now 200,000. Right? Basically what we're going to do is we're going to defer it for 10 years and we're going to take income of $20,361. Okay, that's what we're going to do here. All right, if I take the $20,361 divided by 12, it comes out to $1,697. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically type in 1697, and I'm going to start it 10 years from now. Okay, right at the illustration. I'm just going to help you with that. Now, I can increase the 1697 if I want. I could actually have a rider fee that brings down the annuity account value we want. We can have a projected increase for a certain time period if we want. But we're going to stay simple here, though. We're just going to move it. We're going to start it in 10 years, and we're going to run it for life. Okay? Let me click Save and Close and watch what happens now. Now, the asset is removed from the top. Okay, where does it go? It actually goes here into the income benefits section and becomes a green asset now. Okay, now look what happens here with these pie charts. Now, we had, what, 70% at risk before? Right? We're down to 50, and we're pretty close to the 45-45 mix they wanted, right? Off by a little bit, but it's not going to be exact all the time, but you're closer, and it's better in the pie charts. Now, let's go look and see what it does, more importantly, right, in the total picture. And you can see now our numbers have actually jumped to 394,000. So if we want to locate the 1697 coming in, now there's a bunch of stuff happening here. But if you do your mouse over, as you can see it, now the taxable inflow, okay, of 1697 is here. It's 2697 because we have $1,000 of rental income coming in, okay? Then it drops to 1697 here, see? Okay, now at some point, I want you to look at something here. Give me 1 second, right? You can see the 1697s go all the way down. So we go from taxable, now I want you to watch this now. And then look what happens in 42. We get into the basis, and now all of a sudden, right? You can see that we're starting to have return of basis plus increase in the account, right? And then we get down to 0, and then we have everything's taxable after that. So the program does that for you. You don't even have to worry about that. What you just want to show the client is the 1697 coming in, and we take care of the taxation for you. But most importantly, though, if we go back to reports and print, we'll show you what we're looking at here. And this is your sale right here. A lot of people say, well, where's the sale? Well, you sat down with them. They look like this, right? You gave them 3 suggestions to make it look a little bit better. Then you employ a product and you actually raise it to 394,000 because you're cutting down on the negative cash flow when you turn income on in September of 2028. And it's really simple to see. Okay, it's really simple to see. Let's take one more look at it really quick on 6, and you can see, look at this stuff. You really want to show, you know, the difference here. Look at this. They were running large negative cash flows, and then the Social Security starts, right? And look what happens, right? Your Social Security starts, and also what's happening here. And your 1697s at work, and you start to see how it starts to drop here. You turn the annuities on in 2028. We're running 6,700 negative cash flow. It starts to drop it. Now we have some other, you know, changes here where the rental income stops. But when you turn the Social Security on, clients are going to like this. You see how the negative cash flow drops, and we even turn positive in 2042 for a little while. Okay, and again, mouse overs will help you explain everything in here. So that's really how it works, okay? Our whole goal here is to get the third scenario, in this case, right, looking good. Because you know what it does? It sets you up to be able to afford that. How much life insurance do you think you can sell here? How much long-term care insurance do you think you can sell here? It sets you up to afford to be able to buy life insurance and long-term care in this situation after you balance them and actually increase their position with an annuity in this case. Okay, now you can subtract from this to pay for life insurance and long-term care, and it will also hold up better in a market correction, and that's what we want to do. Okay, so we want to work to make this look as good as possible, not by raising rates of return, by smart decisions and then changes of behavior and things like that. Brooke?
All right, guys. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, Marcus, I think we're ready.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions here. I was emailed a couple of questions on that. If you go back to tab 2, can you kick back over to tab 2?
Yep. Give me 1 second. My software's running a little slow. Tab number 2. There you go, sir. Okay.
Down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Under the portfolio weighted average or portfolio percentage, is there a way to break those down?
Yes,
But
the rates of return.
Yeah, the rates of return. Yeah. Somebody wanted
Yes,
to.
absolutely. So really, you've got two ways you can do it. You can run one average rate of return across all accounts. That's not really the way that we recommend doing it, because you can also use individual rates like what you're seeing in this example, and that allows you to input a rate of return specific to each account. And then you can show, your checking account's earning 10 basis points and your managed money earning, 5 or 6 or whatever the case may be.
Okay. And the other question is on RMDs. If they want to reinvest that money, how does that tie back into the software?
Okay.
So on tab 6,
Good, Brooke.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So on tab 6, if they want to reinvest the RMDs, we have a feature for that. So they can either use the RMD reinvestment account, and that's basically what we call a slush fund. You can assign a rate of return to it, and the money will funnel into that. Or if they want to do something specific with that RMD reinvestment money, you can go in here to advanced options and actually sweep the money into a specific account. So lots of functionality there. Really, it should be able to accommodate anything you're wanting to do.
Okay. And one other question for future expenses like weddings or college education, where would you guys recommend putting that stuff?
Okay, so right here on tab 3, we've got the future cash flows section. Again, this will pick up all of that extra stuff. So if it's college planning, if it's real estate properties, if it's weddings, those things cost a fortune nowadays. You can build it in right here, and you can choose on the left-hand side specifically which account you want it to come from. And then in this example here with the wedding, let's just pop in some numbers. So 50,000. We'll
Marcus,
say 2020.
is the person going to get divorced, or should we just do it one time?
Just one time.
Oh my word.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Oh Lord.
I'm kidding.
Okay, now the left-hand side, we could say specifically, which account we wanted it to come from. Probably non-qualified or 1099 is the best. Now the right-hand side, you see this external destination. You can click the toggle right here, and you can say, wedding venue or whatever you want that to say. Perfect.
There you go.
Now, because it's going to, for the wedding, in this example, it'll take that 50 grand and it'll leave the plan. Okay, so you'll see it actually leaving the retirement fund.
I've also had a few questions come up as far as inheritances or potential inheritances coming down the road. You do that all in here as well.
You do. And the cool thing about that is you can, right here, again, the key with this cash flow window is the middle section. In Marcus's example with inheritance, the whole thing you want to do on the left-hand side is say non-taxable external source. And then the right side, you could just funnel it into whatever account you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now you'll see it come in instead of go out. See how it adds instead of subtracts?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing. The accounting's at the bottom.
Right. There you go. I have one more question here. Is there a way to break down the expenses instead of all lump summing it?
Absolutely. And we're big fans of that. That's where, if we scroll back to the top here, like I said earlier, you can run it clumped if you want, but we encourage you to use this budget worksheet. You can create your own budget templates. I know every advisor typically has their own little way they like to do the budget. So you can actually go in, set up the default templates the specific way you want it, and then on tab 3, they'll open to your template.
Guys, just a little add-on to that too. You will have functionality shortly where you're going to be able to email the budget template that you create or ours out to a client, and they'll be able to fill it out, send it back to you, and it'll populate into your grid here, the one that you make or the one that we, the default. So again, good stuff. You'd spend the time one time, like Brooke was saying, make your own budget. It opens that way the same time. You shoot your client over an email with a link in there that they can fill their budget out. They send it back to you. You click upload. It'll pop right into yours. That's what we're working on.
The other nice feature of the software is down at the bottom, there's a share tab, which I work with several different advisors on. So once they do fill out a analyzer sheet, If they do run into a problem or they do have a question, they click on the share tab. If you put in my email up there, marcus@imsinc.com, that file comes directly over to me, and we can be both looking at the same information at the same time. So if there's any troubleshooting or you have any questions at all, it's a great tool to use and utilize, so we can share files back and forth at that point in time. Anything else you guys would like to add on this software at this point? You just want to cover those calculators up there? Those are great tools to use as well.
Yeah, I want to say something about life insurance and long-term care though.
Sure.
So it's really like a 3-step process to make tab 6 look great, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also, you got 3 other steps to worry about here. So basically we call tab 6 utopia. If everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, you're going to run, you're projected to have 394,000. Well, what happens in premature death? All of a sudden this number will change. Watch. If I go here into tab number 7 and that 394 that I was so happy about, if my partner and I or my spouse and I live to age 100 and everything's great, all of a sudden, let's say Gary dies, right? Gary dies. What's going to happen? Now watch this. What we do is we actually subtract Gary out of the picture on whenever you want to kill him. Not literally, but whenever you want to show death. Okay, but Gary's gone here in 2018. So you remember that 394,000 that Jenna had? Well, now she's out of money at 74. Okay, so once you get tab 6 utopia looking good, then you want to kill them. Not literally, right? But tab 7 to see if it can withstand, buy the life insurance, put them in a facility on tab 8, buy the long-term care insurance, and see if it can withstand a market correction. So again, the whole thing is built this way. And again, 4 or 5 times through, you start to feel comfortable. Gather, analyze, make this one look as good as possible with some changes in behavior, recommendations, things like that. Add a product to enhance. Create as much money or fluff that you can here so you can pay for life insurance, long-term care, and then withstand a market correction. And that's really, you're going to be doing it over and over and over again. You become expert at it. You really will. Okay.
Any other?
You want to do calculators, marketer? Marcus, you want to do calculators?
Yeah, if you guys can cover the calculators real quick, then I'll move on to the rest of the webinar.
All right. Brooke, you want to?
Yeah, and we'll just touch on these super quickly, guys. The cool thing is at the top of every toolbar, you'll see that little triangle there. That's what we call a quick clip, and it'll give you a breakdown of every single section, so you can watch the clips that you need to. But let's just look. Yep, exactly, right there. You can see a whole catalog of different recordings. They're all 5 minutes or less too, very topic specific. So we've got a lot of different standalone calculators here. Don't forget about these. An amortization one, you can plug in extra payments, a lot of functionality with this amortization schedule, okay?
And let me just say something about this, Brooke. This is a good one too, because people want to know, should they pay off the balance of their mortgage now or not, right? So watch this though. If I want to make optional payments, just look at the total interest. This is a small one here, but look at it. If I make $100 a month of extra payment, okay, I have 360 payments here now. Okay, the interest charge is $175,000. If I just tab out of here, right, I save 61 payments and about $35,000 right at your fingertips here, just by paying $100 extra per month. Okay, another way to do it. Let's say you get a bonus, right, and let's say in 3 of 2019 you want to pay off $25,000 or send it. I'm not saying you should. Right, it's not the best thing to do all the time, but watch what happens here. You can show your clients if I tab out of the cell. Now this one time cuts my payments down to $277, and I'm down to $113,000 in interest. So you can play with these calculators and just use them in front of clients and answer their questions real time, guys. Right? You can't wait till next Tuesday to get back to them anymore. Not today. That's the amortization calculator. We have a bunch of them. You want to go through the other ones, Marcus, or do you want to just? Basically, they all have their training clips, and then
the biggest ones I get questions on are the laddering and the RMD, and then the tax.
Okay. If Brooke wants to go through laddering, what I'll do is I'll fill it up for you, Brooke, while you're doing it.
Yeah, no problem. So laddering, guys, this is again, these are standalone calculators, but this is going to allow you to either solve using a lump sum, or you can solve for an exact amount. We'll look at the lump sum in this example. So say a client comes to you, they're looking to create income for a 20-year period. So our program length is 20 years. Our client age is 62. Let's say they have $500,000 to work with. They know they want $1,500 a month. We'll tack on a 3% inflation rate. And we're looking for a SPIA monthly rate. Now that can fluctuate. What we're looking for there is the rate per thousand. So contact IAMS, they can help you with that. Now on the right-hand side here, we have the different buckets. And what we're going to do to fund the first 5 years of income is a SPIA. Okay, so your income bucket is always going to be a SPIA. And you can see we have assets 2, 3, 4, and 5 in addition to that SPIA. You can plug in the rate of return. It's going to show you weighting-wise what we need in each bucket, in addition to the asset allocation figure. Okay, now when we drop down to the analysis section, let's take a look. So again, we're creating $1,500 a month. We would need to put $89,179 in the SPIA right now today, basically to create the $1,500 a month for the next 5-year block of time. What we're going to do with asset 2 is we're going to, again, put $89,179 in it today. It is going to pick up that 3% rate of return, and it's going to grow until year 6 when we then turn that income back on. So 103,383 will be the value at that time. That will, again, create the income for the next 5-year block of time. And you can see basically that's going to work down through all of these assets. Now, in this example, they actually have more money than they really need in the plan. Okay, so asset number 5 here has 143,000 basically left over in it that we didn't really need. So over the 20-year time frame, we can see the remaining account balance is 554 right here in the summary section. The remaining account balance 554, 455. They actually took payouts of over $455,000. So that creates, between the two of those added up, a total program value of over $1 million. So we created all that income and basically still have money left.
Yeah.
And guys, these are concept calculators now, right? You can do this in the program, okay, very easily, right? But you got to get somebody interested in the concept, and it's really kind of neat. I mean, if you put the extra 143,000 that goes along for the ride into an account to build back everything that you're taking, you will end up with more than what you started with, right? The split annuity concept, right? If you make 5% in the managed money account, though, right? What's going to happen here? Okay, now you only have 300. So this account here is the one that's in charge, basically, of making back everything to be over 500,000. If you don't get the returns that you're looking for, right, it might not. So you might start with 500, pull out 455, and end up with 380. So it's still a lot more, but that's how it's set up, though. So to help people understand how to do that. Now, one other thing I want to show you, Marcus, really quick, if it's okay. If they don't want to use all 500 and they want these cash flows, right, and they just want to know what they have to use to get these cash flows and have nothing left at the end, all we do is click exact amount analysis. Now watch what happens here. If I click the exact amount of analysis, all right, I put in these numbers that Brooke said, okay, they grow to this, they pay my expenses. So basically, I only have to put $356,718 into it, right? The 143 doesn't come in, we do something else with it. And it's in charge of paying those expenses for 20 years. I have nothing left at the end, but I had payments of $455, and that's my value. But again, I put about $143,000 less into this. I didn't put the 500, I put the 356. So I hope that makes sense. Play with it a little bit, you can get it. All right. What other calculator, Marcus, did you say? Which one?
The pension maximization one I get a lot of questions on.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let me set this up for you here. Go ahead.
Okay, so Pension Max, this is, again, a standalone concept. What you're going to want to pull from the client, though, is the life-only benefit amount. So basically, if Steve and I are married and he passes, I would get nothing. That's life-only amount. Now, what you're also going to want to pick up here is the 100% to survivor option. Okay? And look at any COLA. Some pensions have them, some pensions do not. Now, what we're looking at on the right-hand side is the death benefit. And the key with this calculator is you're going to want to run the main analysis and come up with the death benefit needed in order to protect the remaining spouse back on tab 7 before you come to this pension max calculator. Now, the beauty of tab 7 is it's going to show you not only the death benefit needed today, but you can kill them, say, 20 years down the road, evaluate the death benefit again. Maybe you want to show them 30 years down the road, evaluate the death benefit again. And the reason that's important, guys, is because a typical life insurance curve, most people need the most insurance that they'll ever need right now today. As time goes on, they have a shorter amount of time to protect. It causes that need to taper off. Again, it just depends on their situation, though, but that's pretty typical. So in this example, what we're going to assume is that we start out needing $400,000 of coverage today, but that it tapers off. And you can see we taper it to $300,000, $200,000. The premium is also reflective of that drop in the death benefit needed. Okay, again, call IMES for the product part of that. Now, once you've got that dialed in, we can drop down below. In the left-hand side, the red side, I'll call it, is comparing our life only to our survivor option. You can see the life only would kick out $3 grand a month, where taking the survivor option is going to decrease the monthly benefit to $2,500 bucks. So that's a $500 cut the client gets day one. Now here's the deal. When you have a COLA attached to a pension, that spread becomes greater and greater very quickly. So you can see in year 2, we now lost $512. By year 10, we have lost $624 a month. Okay, so huge difference. Now what we're doing on the green side, let's take a look at this. We're saying, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Client, go out, take the life only option through the pension. The key with this, they have to be healthy and insurable. Okay, so max out that pension, take the life only option, and let's buy personal life insurance to counter the risk. Rather than, in essence, what they're doing, taking a survivor option, is buying a life insurance policy through the state. And it's typically costly. So on the green side, we can see the $400 premium, then it drops to $300, then it drops again to $200. So we are definitely doing better and insuring them more affordably here on the green side. Let's scroll down to our summary. On our summary section, the total benefit they received on the red side, $1.3 million. The total benefit received on the green side, $1.472, a difference of over $155,000 by showing them how to implement this concept. Okay. Any questions on that, Marcus, or additional questions, I should say?
No additional questions on that. Yeah, if you think of any other questions, please feel free to type those in the box down below. We'll be able to answer those. But if you want to switch the screen back over to me,
Okay.
we can continue here.
All right. Let me just do that. You can actually do that, Marcus, but I'll try to.
Let me take a look here. Oh, there we go.
I think I did it, though. Did you get it or no?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, cool. Good.
So let's continue on here. And like I said, if you have any other questions, please go ahead and type those down. Again, I want to thank Brooke and Steve for their time this morning. But we do have the IMES Business Builders. I'm going to touch on a few IMES programs here. I did get one additional question down here. What's the cost of the analyzer itself? The cost is what we're looking for is advisors that are currently contracted through insurance agency marketing and writing business through us on an annual basis. And what we will do is we will pick up the overall cost of the software, give you all the supporting, give you access to the software program. You can work with me directly or with Steve and Brooke and their organization for any support. Have access to the website, the software, all the different marketing pieces on an annual basis to help grow your agency alike. I know they offer some additional training as well. They covered that in the beginning of the webinar for an additional cost. That is entirely up to you if you want to go and join them at those particular locations. But as far as the software and all the marketing materials, we will certainly pick up the cost of that as long as you are contracted through insurance agency marketing with some of our core carriers and currently writing business. We also offer the Business Builders, which is our referral producer program and our marketing reimbursement. Again, we do realize how much it is for you to run your business. For every 100,000 in annuity, fixed index annuity premium, or single premium life premium you write, we do put $100 back into your marketing account. You can use that to cover expenditures or tie to marketing support through our organization. It's a way for us to say thank you and continue to support your organization here moving forward. We do have the new producer builder program, which is a new producer program, 3 separate levels at the $100,000, $300,000, and $500,000 level. This is good for the first 6 months that you're on board with us. It's a way for us to say welcome aboard. Let us help you grow your business, start your business, or meet you where you're currently at. We can help you with anything from $750 in cash all the way to either a 4,000 or 5,000 piece mailing, and seminar coaching by 2 of our top producers, either Matt Gill or Dave Pimper, to help keep your pipeline full so you have plenty of prospects to see in building that relationship with insurance agency marketing. Again, that is good for the first 6 months that you're with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We do have some of the best back office support in the industry. Amber heads up our back office support, our new business department. We do have some of the best case design assistants in the industry. A lot of sales business associates here. If you need quotes, forms, materials, we also have access to the website, paperless contracting, which ultimately saves you a lot of time, so you can spend that time better in front of your prospects and clients alike, where you do what you do best, which is offering solutions and helping them with the retirement needs. So if you have any questions whatsoever for our back office support, please contact Miss Amber Williams here at the office at 1-800-255-5055. We do have the Creative Marketing Solutions, which is our marketing team. Jacob and Sean are currently working that area. We can help you with turnkey solutions, whether you're looking for handouts, postcards, newsletters, something simple, all the way to digital solutions like Facebook, personal website, digital marketing strategies. They can help you with simple items all the way to customized marketing, commercial, radio. Wherever you are within your business, we can certainly help you or meet you there, and certainly drive your business moving forward and help you personalize and help you take advantage in your own backyard and give you that step up. So again, Jacob and Sean are the 2 individuals you want to contact here in the office for any type of creative marketing solution or client engagement assets. We do have the Insurance Agency Marketing website, which is available at your fingertips 24/7. We just re-released this with more industry forums online, always accessible 24/7 at your fingertips. Please take some time, go out and take a look at it. We do have a great annuity grid and annuity news, the latest annuity news out there for you to keep you and your clients up to date on any trends which are happening out in the industry. If you have any questions on that, you can certainly reach us at the office or our sales team. We also have a great sales resource library out there, which is a great a quick reference guide for our advisors who are currently licensed through our organization for their up-and-coming appointments. Again, it's the IMS website at www.imsinc.com. We do offer to our advisors also a wealth management tool, which is our IMS Wealth Management Division. It is headed up by Charles Hearing Jr. It gives you, the advisor, more opportunity to generate more revenue. Also gives you the opportunity from an overall standpoint to manage more relationships, really limit your client's exposure to the marketplace and other financial professionals. Complements really what your existing annuity business. You don't really have to overhaul it. It gives you the opportunity to stop passing up some assets and makes you more marketable, more referable as a full service advisor. So if you are thinking about possibly gaining your Series 65 license, please give them a call. You can certainly talk to either Charles, Mike, or Joan in that division. Again, you can reach them here at the office at 800-255-5055 with any questions with regards to attaining your Series 65 license. We do also have our Life and Annuity Academy, our industry recognized event, which is going to be coming up here in October. This is a event that's going to be co-hosted by North American. In October, we're going to be bringing in 4 of our top producers, our multi-million-dollar producers, to share with you what they're doing to keep their pipelines full. We're going to be talking about turnkey seminar systems, what's working within the industry, sales software tools. We're going to be talking about the Retirement Analyzer tool, how other advisors are utilizing that within their practice, large life case marketing, annuity marketing. There's really not going to be a topic that's going to be not talked about or discussed at that event. Again, this is going to be an event that we are going to be covering as far as an expense standpoint. So there's going to be no expense to the advisor. I'm going to open that up to see who might have some interest in that. Again, this is going to be in October of this year. It's going to be the 16th, 17th, and 18th of October. If you have some interest in attending this event, please let me know. I can follow up with you with all the different details. Again, it's going to be co-hosted by North American and Insurance Agency Marketing in October of this year. Again, we do have the Insurance Agency Marketing Summit meeting. It's going to be at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Qualification period right now is running from January 1, 2018 through June 30th of 2019. And it's going to be a great event. Eligibility with any combination of annuity premium, $3 million of annuity premium, or $2.25 million of single premium life premium will qualify for this event. It's going to be held August 25th through the 29th. So if you have any questions around this event, please give our marketing team a call here at the office at the 800-255-5055. So we still have plenty of time to qualify for that up-and-coming event. Again, I'm going to open the floor. Brooke, Steve, again, I appreciate your time this morning. I don't see any additional questions this morning, but anything else you guys would like to add before we close it out at this point in time?
Yeah, Marcus, just one last thing. We haven't really come into any kind of situation, no matter how detailed it is, that we can't, pop into the software and help the client understand, what the strategy would do, our projections and stuff. So if you have some kind of crazy outlier type case that you think a software program can't handle, give us a shot. Give us a shot. We'll sit down with you. There's all kinds of different ways we can massage the software, or at least bring cash flows in, send them out, tax them, don't tax them. We haven't really run into a situation that we can't handle yet. So I think that's a good thing, and we're more than willing to spend the time with you, just like Marcus is. But yeah, just give us a shot.
One thing I would say is, there's 2 different versions of that report that actually prints out on the Retirement Analyzer software. There's a long version and a short version. So, I know there's a lot of information covered within that report, but it is very simple to read once the client does see a copy of that overall report. So, it is a very simple and easy way to get that information or portray that information over to the client. It isn't really overwhelming per se, would you say, Steve? And it's something that they can ingest. I love the simplicity of it all from an overall basis.
Yeah, it's kind of written so people understand it. Because Brooke and I spend a lot of time just simplifying everything. That's why we don't come to market with a lot of this functionality till it's understandable. So again, written on a 6th grade level so clients get it. Okay. When that comes to finance, right, they kind of shut down when we start using our industry jargon, but they get it, just like Marcus said. So, yeah, I think you'll be surprised, and you'll be pleasantly surprised if you give it a shot, because they'll get what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate your time, Steve and Brooke. I thank everyone for joining us this morning, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I look forward to speaking to each of you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.